Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Wednesday, September 6th. And obviously, the big story is going to be Hurricane Irma. Right now, packing winds of 185 mile an hour sustained winds. And again, the pressure is just incredibly low on this. It's actually strengthened here over the last 12 hours. And if we look at the headlines again, all eyes are going to be on Florida. Very concerned about Florida. The storm will come out into the Atlantic again and then move to the north and probably make another landfall perhaps in the Carolinas. But again, right now, Florida is the area we're concerned. The track has trended a little bit farther to the east northeast, and that could be good news for Tampa Bay. It's still too close to call. But again, if we were to see that storm emerge a little bit farther west into the Gulf and then make a cut just north of Tampa Bay, that would be a devastating scenario for that area. But right now, the trend is a little bit farther back to the east now. And again, so areas of Florida, keep an eye on the forecast here the next 3 or 4 days, as it could certainly waffle back and forth. You can see the extended outlook. We're going to wait to get this warm air once we get Irma out of here, but that won't be until probably early to the middle part of next week before we finally start to see its influences allow the pattern to start to begin to move again. And eventually, I think we'll see a lot of warm air by mid-month move into the area, and perhaps lasting for the most part right into the month of October. So right now, the end of September and the month of October overall, there certainly can be some cold shots that come through, but overall it looks pretty warm. And if we look at the latest advisory, the 5 a.m. advisory, the barometric pressure now, or the pressure is down to 914 millibars, or if you got a home barometer, 26.99, but mine only goes down to 28, so you can see it's way off the charts. And again, sustained winds 185 miles per hour, and a Cat 5 begins at 157. So if we were going in incremental wind speeds as far as the categories, this would actually be pretty close to what we'd call a Cat 6 storm. It's a very powerful Category 5 storm. And again, you can see the track of the storm now takes it right up just to the southeast of the Keys, and then right up into the very southern part of Florida, up towards Lake Okeechobee, which they begin to lower. They're lowering the levels of Lake Okeechobee, trying to get it down to, I believe, 14 feet. And again, that's a very big concern. We'll talk about that in a second. If we show you the next map, right now, this would be the area. The whole state of Florida is under the gun, but this area here is the most concerning area. And again, all these major cities, all the way up to Melbourne, from there south along the east side, it could be just a tremendously devastating storm for those areas. If I lived in those areas, I'd be going away from that area. If there were two places I would not want to be, it would be at Lakeport or Okeechobee, with that south and the southeast and then easterly winds piling that water levels and the surge up into these areas here. There's going to be a tremendous amount of flooding if the current track does hold. Again, that's the big if, and something we'll be following over the next several days. But again, places like Fort Lauderdale, again, potentially a very, very dangerous situation for those areas. And you can see on the satellite imagery our storm now moving into away from the Leeward Islands, where no doubt there's been a lot of devastation. We'll probably hear of a lot of fatalities in these island chains here over the next couple of days once the storm clears by. And you can see it's on the move. And there's going to be another hurricane behind that. Whether that'll influence the U.S. is still yet to be seen. I think some of the early indications are that it would move off into the Atlantic, but again, we'll have to watch that very closely as well. And if we look at conditions around the area a little bit closer to home, temperatures this morning about 10 degrees colder than they were yesterday, in the 40s across the area. Of course, our normally colder spots over there at Clarksville and Newaygo down in the low 40s. You can see a few areas picking up a little bit of mist or a little bit of precipitation, 100th of an inch at Newaygo, also over at St. Thomas in London. And again, we have a chance for more, again, scattered showers, mainly during the afternoon as instability builds. And it could even be a thunderstorm, and much like yesterday, some of the heavier showers or thunderstorms, if they do occur, could produce some small size, pea-sized hail across the area. And if we look at the radar, what do we have here? Yep, good old lake effect. And again, as the heating takes place, that's going to allow these pulse type storms or showers to move further inland, and especially inland where there'll be more heating due to a little bit more in the way of sunshine scattered about. And again, during the afternoon when we have peak heating, that's when we have a good chance of showers across the central portions of the area and the eastern portions as well. But again, already you know it's getting that time of year when you're talking about lake effect. And if we look at the weather map this morning, you can see the system that moved through here a couple days ago, well off to our east now. That's where most of the steadiest rains will be. And again, with this upper air trough overhead, very cold temperatures aloft, again, any heating during the next day or two, right into Thursday, will create some scattered showers, and again, maybe a thunderstorm as well. And then by Thursday, we expect another system to be swinging through the area, and that's going to keep the showers and thunder showers possibly going. And then finally by Friday, maybe over the eastern areas during the early morning hours, but then moving off to the east. It looks like most of Friday, especially across the northern and western areas, lots of sunshine. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the temperatures warming up to around 70 by Saturday and the low 70s on Sunday. And then as we get into earlier next week, around Tuesday, Wednesday, we may climb well into the mid 70s as we begin hopefully to be looking forward to a much warmer pattern as we get towards the second half of next week and then for much of the rest of the month. As far as precipitation, over the next 7 days, really the majority of the precipitation will fall here over the next 66 hours. And you can see most areas picking up around 1/4 of an inch, maybe 1/3 of an inch in some areas. And again, more along the immediate lake shore where there are some lake effect enhancement going on as well. And here's the forecast for today. Again, highs in the mid 60s with the chance of especially afternoon showers, maybe a thunderstorm, mainly a showery pattern. And again, we'll continue that again tomorrow afternoon, and with highs, this will probably be the coolest days, highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. We'll be in the mid 60s on Friday, up near 70 on Saturday, and in possibly the low 70s by Sunday. And again, much improved weather with lots of sunshine for the weekend again, so it'll be another great weekend if you've got any outdoor plans. And again, all eyes are going to be on Florida initially here, as Irma will be making its way to that area by the weekend. Thanks for stopping by, and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.